Yeah, they ran it up. They ran it out. What is up? What is up? Look at all the YouTubers. This is awesome. Thank you guys for joining early. Very, very cool. I had not a great feeling about how the Marcus Mariota experience was going to go. His first drive, it looked very professional. The best Marcus Mariota's looked in years. But I don't think I have a stomach to expect Marcus Mariota to perform well in the second half, even though all of my entire plan went to hell with the Carr groin injury. We do not expect to see Derek Carr in the second half. Andy,
second half of the season.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling of what it's like when you pull your groin? Is it?
Yes. I did not look like that, but I pulled my groin like last week. And so I felt that pain. It's just like how I had the same injury as Mahomes. Like, I'm basically an NFL quarterback. I don't know.
Basically. Yeah. Basically. Did you do it playing football? I'm sure it was playing football, right?
No, it was
a different recreational activity.
I don't play as much as I used to. I was on a flag football team in college. Duck on Prime though. Yes, we got the Battle of the Oregon quarterbacks.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, and did you see next week we have the Battle of the Hawaiian quarterbacks?
Yes,
it's going to be Mariota versus Tua. That's kind of fun. Makes me want to go to Hawaii really bad. That's for sure.
Tropical weather.
I do too. I usually get a trip to Hawaii in December, and I did not get to go this year, and I'm very sad about that. But
we're very anti-virus. I'm sick of it because I was telling somebody too that the conference championships are this weekend. Many different times I've spent in Vegas doing that. During the rodeo people are there. The conference championship games are on. Everything's a good time. So yeah, I need a vacation soon.
We will save the Hawaii questions for overtime. Let's get into this Candy Cat, man. So to reset the clock here, you bet Chargers at +3.5. News breaks this morning. Mike Williams out. Keenan Allen ailing.
Snapchat.
Not looking great. And the number moved all the way out to I think I saw 4. Was I hallucinating, or did it get to 4?
I didn't I didn't really watch.
It got to 4 at some of the market making books, but then it came back to 3.5. There was some even more under enthusiasm today, despite the fact that both of these defenses look like dog shit. Coming out, and actually, you not only did you played another fun one too. You had +3.5, which was a nice number grab by you early, and then you also played -6.5. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm variance Andy today. We're fine with the Chargers winning this by 7.
Okay, so
yeah, I played 3.5 flat when honestly, truthfully, if I would have known, and like I said, I didn't watch the market all that closely, but I did watch the injury news, and it was a roller coaster of emotion. I bet the 3.5. Then you get the news like 2 hours later that all those Raiders defenders are out yesterday. That felt great. Then today, it's like, Eckler's going to play. Well, that's great. I'm feeling like the receivers are out. They say, all right, the receivers are out. They're out. It's fine. We'll do what we can do. And then they're starting to warm up on the field. They're going to play. Allen's on a snap count. Honestly, Allen looks fine. Eckler looks fine.
In the red zone there.
Fine against this defense.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So I guess I don't know really how to feel about the fact that I'm holding Chargers money. I feel terrible. Actually, I feel terrible because they left points on the field. The punt and the field goal were the wrong calls. They should have been more aggressive. They did bad play sequencing when they got down to the red zone. And we talked about this. I mean, kind of when Mariota came in, we were DMing, and you said the under for second half, and I said, yeah, that's probably it. Especially, I guess I was hoping the Chargers be up by more. Some of these Chargers, and that's the thing. Someone says like these Chargers runs are going nowhere. Yeah, they had one nice run by Balaj up the gut. I can't tell you. Like, what do you think the long run for Eckler is? He had a couple half decent ones, but it seems like the Raiders defense under the new D coordinator definitely said like we're going to stop the run. We're not going to be that team anymore.
Well, actually, I want to focus on that again. So. Yeah. coming into this game where you're going up against a dynamic passing offense and a running offense that hasn't been able to do jack squat this season, Rod Marinelli sits down and says, I got a shot. I got another shot at a D coordinator position. I'm going to make my mark on this league. We are going to stop the run today. Okay, now the Chargers run stops themselves. That's really not what you should have focused on. You should have focused on your coverage packages because Hunter Henry is running amok. And honestly, if you knew that Keenan Allen was questionable and that Mike Williams was questionable and found out that they weren't going to go or that they weren't going to be 100%, what do you focus your attention on? Hunter fucking Henry. Like the fact that he missed that and the fact that they didn't have a plan for that is hysterical to me. The Raiders defense is going to continue to give up passing yards. The only thing that can stop the Chargers passing offense is Anthony Lynn and his insistence to run the football. And honestly,
this is the thing. Like I said Eckler looks fine. He does. He doesn't look injured. It's just these are bad plays against defense. Their
scheme sucks. Their running scheme.
Yeah, the scheme sucks, and the defensive scheme for the Raiders is actually okay against the run right now. So the fact that and that is why I'm fine with this under. Because I don't think we're sitting here and we're saying this. We know this. You know this. Everybody knows this. Those runs suck. We've seen this. You guys have eyes. We have eyes. We all saw it. Anthony Lynn's not going to go away. They're not going to change what they're doing. They're going to get more conservative with the offense.
Let me make a more specific suggestion then. Because the Chargers passing offense is so dynamic. And in fact, honestly, Justin Herbert, it looks like his agent got on the phone with him and was like, hey, man. His agent got on the horn with him, and he was like, hey, man, this is primetime game. You go out and you ball out tonight, and you win Rookie of the Year. You're going to get the endorsements in LA this offseason. You're really going to start your career off on the right foot. He was talked up, and he is playing a great game, even though
you know how many yards he's thrown for already?
I'm going to guess 220. What is it?
Not quite 200. You're a little overexcited.
190?
Almost 200. 16 for 20 for 194, 9.7 yards per throw there, and 2 touchdowns, a rating of well over $140, 140.4 in fact.
Yeah. So if the Chargers go into halftime and they're like, we're going to keep our foot on the gas, we're going to keep throwing the ball, then they're going to score points, and it's going to threaten this 24.5, which is kind of a low number, although they'll give you plus 110 if you want to take under 24.5. I think that the Raiders are going to have a tougher time scoring in the second half here. And in fact, their insistence on giving Jacobs the ball when Jacobs has no pop. If they were throwing the ball more aggressively, then I think they would be doing better. And honestly, by the time they figure that out, it's going to be too late because the Chargers get the ball first. I think the Chargers can score the way the Raiders defense is playing if the Chargers are throwing on their first drive, which I do think sets up a Raiders team total under. They are half a point favorite here in the second half. Do you have any opinion on isolating the Raiders team total under as opposed to taking the under? Oh, you can get under 26 now at I guess that's not all that different than 24.5, but you can get under 26 now at BetOnline.
Many a slip, things happen.
Raiders here and there. Under 13.5 plus 100. No one loves a long field goal drive more than John Gruden. Is he scoring 2 touchdowns in the second half with Marcus Mariota?
I can get under 14 minus 20.
You want to do that? Or is under 13.5 plus 100 a better angle of attack?
I'm not sure. Man, I did this with the Bama. I tried to do the math on this once in the game that one of those playoff games where Bama didn't win the title. And I said, what's better, 14.5 or over 16? Points in like the first half, and I played like over 16. It pushed. They didn't score the rest of the game. I don't think it's a weird deal. So I have bad luck when I try to overthink these team totals when there's 2 prices.
Patrick makes a fair point. Marcus Mariota did drop some dimes on that one drive, but he came back to earth with a thud in the second 2 drives, right? Or did he only have did he have 2 punts? I think he did. Oh no, he only had the one and the end of half. But the second drive that was 3 plays, 5 yards. That was the Mariota that I expect we see a lot more of in the second half, to be honest with you. And especially if they are down big. And if they're down 2 touchdowns or down 10 points, if they're down 2 scores, really, if the Chargers can just score next and force Mariota into passing situations, I think he can turn it over. Because Mariota moves the ball well from 20 to 20, and he struggles in the red zone. Do I need to remind you how bad Tennessee and Marcus Mariota were with red zone production? They were so bad. He does not have the precision in the red zone to score touchdowns. Every time Vegas in the second half gets inside the 20, if they basically they're going to have to break big plays like the Waller play if they expect to score touchdowns in the second half. So I think Raiders team total under is the right call here. Do you have any final objection or pivot to a different angle of attack?
I'll let you have it just because I found a 14 for a reasonable price, but he's 5 for 5. Perfect passer rating, this man. And yeah, I mean, I think we saw more of what we're going to see from that offense in the second drive there. This is not a bad Chargers defense. What's the Bosa deal? Is he in at all, or is he completely cycled out right now? Slam Deal's basement. I'm betting at Slam Deal's book for this halftime.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a done deal.
Do not click on that. Fine. Put the banner up.
Okay, let me get my plate in. Then let's see here. Did we overthink this? Should we have just played Chargers plus a half and not get called with an under?
We've kind of gone in circles on this one. This is a toughie. When you throw a backup quarterback in, yeah, then this is what's going to happen. Like whatever we bet probably wins, and then however this works, we'll lose. The Chargers will lose.
You know what? This is the Chargers' night. This is the Chargers' night. They got points because the other team's special teams fucked up. That's the first time that's happened all season. They got the short punt and they turned it into a touchdown. This is a positive regression night for the Chargers. I think actually I'm going to audible at the last minute here. The official scope play is going to be Chargers second half money line at plus 129.
You got 129 with a bookmaker?
Bookmaker has plus 132. Actually, that's even better. I'll play it there.
Wow, getting faded. So, all right, put it up. I'm down for it. Chargers second half. This is their time.
This is their night. Positive regression in so many ways. And honestly, if you're listening to this, do not ever bet on an Anthony Lynn team in the second half. Besides tonight, ever again. Honestly,
yeah, just keep it simple.
His second half adjustments are so bad.
This is funny. The Scott Conn. I've heard the Scott Conn thing before. I don't even like the new Hawaii 5-0. Great guy though.
All right.
132. Look at you. It's a nice number.
Yeah. Well, you pointed it out appropriately that that bookmaker had an even more favorable look for me. So
do you 32. Have you bet any more NBA? I know you bet a little bit here and there on some preseason. Are you done with preseason? Are you getting more into that? Are we into overtime yet or not?
No.
Well, we can't talk NBA then.
Oh yeah. It's a good job that you flipped the frame as it was from our Wednesday pod to the halftime scope. I missed that entirely.
I forgot to tell Steve what to cook for supper. Fridays, man. Fridays are for fish fries, but if you don't like fish, it's always good. Pizza. Two slice crew. Me and the tennis gang. I might get pizza.
Tennis gang. You and the tennis gang.
What about a blocked punt prop? It didn't look like the Raiders were getting through all that much. Although they did, I like that. I mentioned that before we got on the air there. The announcers, they said, what did they say? Oh, there's the punter for the Chargers. He's had a few troubles. Yet this season, and then he corrected himself. He's like, well, actually, the blocking in front of him. It's not like the punter, is back there screwing around or doing something that's causing them to be blocked. What's going in the smoker this weekend? God, I did have a Christmas that got kind of Corona canceled or Corona, whatever you want to call it, postponed, just pushed back a week. So
first and 10 pass. That is a great sign.
I am going to. I might do some wings. I got some wings. Yeah.
Shout out to the Hunter Henry prop.
Tim had it.
You guys got a great number on that. Great work. And the reasoning was so solid. Really excellent.
Here's a good question from Donnie B. They said
the answer is yes.
They said if they're not going to cancel those, they're just going to let those fly, I don't know what we're going to see. I think we might be here. Maybe call me Pollyanna. Say I'm a little bit too optimistic in a pessimistic world, but I think we are close to the light at the end of the tunnel. Hospitals have the vaccine at this point. It's starting to trickle into the healthcare system. So hopefully the NBA season, the college basketball season, the hockey season, the NFL playoffs, hopefully things just start working.
I 100% agree with your optimism about the hope. Your hopefulness is super on point, and don't be afraid of the vaccine, even as stupid as some of the media out there is talking about how terrible the vaccine is. But the
just did a Wildcat play.
The schedule is compressed. There's not a lot of flexibility, and there's going to be cancellations. Honestly, any book that says 68 games must be played, you basically have potential for 3 free losses. That's basically what that equates to. And there's not an easy or obvious way that they're going to be able to fit enough games, because they only release the first half of the schedule because they know games are going to be canceled. They're not going to force them like the NFL. The NFL has been forcing these games because they feel like they don't have a choice. But the NBA is basically going to say, we're going to recognize 2 or 3 games are going to have to be canceled by each team, and we're going to figure out a way to put them into the second half of the schedule when we do that, right? Yeah. But it's just not enough time to really play all those games safely. So the likelihood that a couple games in the second half of the schedule get canceled, I think, is relatively likely. And I think unders are more valuable if it's a 68 game rule. Yeah. That's a nice angle. And
somebody did ask too if we're going to do NBA prep stuff. It's so tough this time of year with just the NFL and the holidays. But if you do, we just mentioned Mr. Noopsy, Alex from Brown Bag Bets, my partner at lunchtime. He does a tennis. This is weird to say. It's like tennis / basketball because they both have nets. So it makes sense. But himself and a couple other people have been hitting hard. This is the Twitter handle. You can find it. They have done a bunch of NBA previews. You went and did.
Do you know how hard it is to lose 4 yards on 3rd and 1? My God.
Is that on 3rd and 1?
3rd and 1, a 4-yard loss.
I showed that as a first down.
No.
Oh, my score bug's wrong. I didn't pull the screen back up.
They just punted, and the Chargers special teams is charging. And it looked like they just went wild helmet to helmet on the punt returner, but there was no flag.
Well, that's good. Anyway, Net Worth Pod, they did a bunch of previews. You should go check that out. If you really do want to get some NBA preview stuff, you went and did one. I know there's been some other guests that covered a ton of the different. I think you just went division by division or picked a few games. How high is that Iowa Gonzaga total? I should run what I would make that. Like 170s, man. That's gonna be a fun run and shoot game. That'll be a really good game. And probably advantage Iowa just because of the Gonzaga's schedule as far as the practice schedule that they're going to have to face. So why win?
Yeah, what do you think about that Florida-Bama coming back down to 17? There was a little Florida money that showed up at long last. I know a couple smart people that like Florida at that number. You like some of the dogs in college football championship weekend. I heard you and Eric talking about that today.
Yeah, Eric talked me into Notre Dame a little. I don't think it's a bad spot. It's a lot of points on a neutral. I don't know what to make of that. Like Florida coming off a real low spot. Like they're not going to play that badly, but Bama's rock. Bama's such a truck. If you have an appetite for Florida, play them first half at like +10 or whatever. That's not a bad look there. Even though Bama has been an absolute train for first halves, but it's still, I guess, what's the use of, you don't need style points if you're Bama. You'll be the undefeated SEC champion. You'll be the number 1 seed. Just go out there and win this game. Like it's not there's
been a bunch of big games like this in Nick Saban's career where he just absorbs whatever the other team gives him in the first half and then makes the adjustments at halftime and comes out and just goes scorched earth. So I think the right play is Florida first half, Bama second half. If I had I had to bet it, if I was a college football handicapper.
And this is truth. Like
he's already won. Forget
I think he probably did.
He's already won.
Yeah, you win this game though. It's lock, stock, and
over. It's over.
25-1. I got him at, and our good friend Vegas Refund. He had Mac and Trask, and Silly Goose didn't sell his Trask early enough, even though we told him to. I think he still was able to get layoffs.
Silly Goose.
What's a Silly Goose? And this, so this is the correct take. That's just not how this works. It sucks. It's a quarterback award. It's a media award. It's turned into this more and more now. It used to be more, running backs used to win this all the time, but it's hard for people outside of the quarterback position to win this anymore. And Devonta is a stud, and Mariota is killing us right now.
Yeah, nice little design run there, but that's okay. We're not the thesis really was that they're just going to fail when they get into the red zone. We know Mariota can move the ball well from 20 to 20. That's not shocking news. It's really when the going gets tough that he really turns into a pumpkin. So, except for that one time where he threw that touchdown pass to himself.
I do remember that. My buddy
the playoffs.
I had a buddy who's a bad DFS player that had him, and he was I think he won some money off that because you got crazy points for the reception as well. I can't remember how they graded it. I believe it was DraftKings. Maybe somebody, Rudell's here. He should be able to tell me how that works. But he's saying Heisman voters had Devonta Smith as the leader. I guess we'll see.
What? Really?
Gruden has an Oakland Raiders hat on. Is that true? I guess I didn't notice that. That's pretty funny though. Shout out Oakland.
Yeah. That's is it, are they wearing the Oakland Raiders throwback jerseys? Maybe that's why.
Are these Heisman polls actually predictive? Are they getting a full straw poll of everybody who has a vote? I actually don't know.
I don't really know.
And last year it didn't matter. It was this is decided weeks in advance. That was just that was because
it was Joe
outlandish.
It
was an outlandish performance through an entire season where he just
that guy broke
scorched earth on the entire NFC or NFL, excuse me. Hat change. Raiders wide receivers dropping like fries. They're also dropping balls. That is what Aguilar does. So, oh man, you know what sucks about this?
Devonta Smith is plus 110.
I can't click this.
That's going to be a split. That's going to be a split vote because they're both Alabama guys. But Mac Jones has really put the hurting on from a.
Maybe I'll have to take some. God, this third down variance is killing me on both sides of the ball here.
Not great.
Other media people. I don't know about these other media people. Yeah.
I like other media in general.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that was a very predictable play that was not well. Yeah, that was not well defended at all. All right, well.
And speaking of awards, we were talking, a couple people made a case for Derrick Henry at 100-1 because of the possibility of breaking,
MVP.
Records. Yeah, MVP for NFL.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and then we went and checked. It's down to 16-1 at certain places. Certainly overreaction. I don't think that's a good number at this point. That's a little nutty.
Yeah.
When it was a wild ass run.
When it was 100-1, that was a really, really good play. It is not outside the realm of possibility that Derrick Henry breaks the all-time rushing record. He has 3 games down the stretch here against 3 horrific run defenses. Jags, Packers, Texans. That's how he finishes out the season. He could get 500 yards and break the all. Does he need 500 yards to break the all-time record or 600? 600 is going to be a reach. Man. 600 is going to be a reach, but
I want Jefferson to have one nutso game where he gets 195 yards or something, so he can break the rookie. Well, I'd like to see him break the rookie receiving record. That'd be nice. I don't think he has a shot.
The way that they coordinate that offense, they're never going to give him that much usage.
Well, yeah, no, he'd have to break 3. He'd have to, take a slant and break it 3 times.
It's going to have to
Although
be
he has
week
had
17 against the
he has had
Lions.
some big games, you know.
Yeah, it's going to have to be week 17 against the Lions because I don't think he's doing it against the Bears or Saints, but what do I know? Fourth down stop, do you think they go for it? I mean, third down stop, do you think they go for it on fourth?
It's about how short is this first? How short is this 1 yard? Is it 1 yard or is it 2? Is it?
It's one
fourth and 2.
It's 1
they're kicking this. They're certainly kicking this, aren't they?
1 1/4
yards. They actually have like a shot at getting into the playoffs here. Like they have to play.
It's actually fourth and 2. It's fourth.
Yeah, it's going through
an extra yard that they're just going to call it 2.
I'm not watching. I have the score bug up. I'm concentrating on you, chat people. Really, this would be big. This would be big for us.
Not for our buddies who are on the over.
No,
for the game.
This is true. Although he's not getting a ton of love in the market because that's weird. It's not how the market always works. It's usually you got to overperform expectations. That's why we're getting, the Mariota is murdering me tonight.
Motherfucker.
I want to cash my 3.5 really.
And they had a decent shot at tackling.
I
don't know. That was very close. I think he got it.
You think we'll challenge? But it's Flores and Rivera, and it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard to argue with those narratives. Like Washington wins the division. Washington could have a 500 record if things shake out crazy.
That would have been nice if they just stopped him. I think we'll have to, we'll get a turnover in the end zone probably. I'm being hopeful, obviously. The coach of the year right now is Brian Flores. If they make the playoffs, if they don't make the playoffs, Stefanski. Was that
Rivera? Rivera. If he wins the division, he's second favorite. Go look at the market.
The market is
incorrect.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
Winning your division with a 7-9 record. That does not merit you coach of the year.
He had cancer, Drew.
I don't
I'm only half like if you think that doesn't play into it a little, you're wrong. Like
who's exceeded their win total the most? Who's had the largest delta on their preseason win total?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, it still might end up being the.
That was such a soft penalty. Are you shitting me?
It still might end up being
soft.
It still might end up being Pittsburgh if they win a few more games here. Their win total is like 9.
Oh, this is such a soft penalty. He had no fucking chance to catch that.
Where's your heart? The Jets in a reverse delta.
The Jets were.
I don't know. There's a lot of narrative around Washington just with Alex Smith, the coming back. He gets the cancer vote. It's tight, I think. I think if Miami misses and the Browns don't, particularly perform super well in the last 3 games, he takes it.
That was a bad drive for us.
Did they score already?
It's not good. Yeah. Soft penalty. Lucky 4th down conversion.
4th down. Well, we've been on a heater. It can't last forever. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, it forces the Chargers. You know what we're going to do? We're taking a push on this. We should have taken the half point.
He did ring a bell in front of the nurses. It's a good point.
I remember.
Speaking to that point,
remember when we were arguing whether it'd be Mike McCarthy, Coach of the Year, or Dallas Cowboys highest scoring team? It feels like 100 years ago, 150 years ago. Although we're going to find a clip that we both said, like, you know what? Come December, Washington's going to be in the playoff hunt.
They are.
We didn't understand it was going to be like this, but
I forgot about that. Mike McCarthy. Ay.
Well, I mean, the injuries were pretty rough. But
I never liked the case. I hated that case because they were expected to win the damn division. You gotta.
Well, I know, but it was going to be
there's an element of surprise. There's an element of surprise,
and they won like 12 games. They were going to oh, McCarthy's back. Like if they they still would have surpassed their win total by 2-3 games. They would have won the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys. It's a big market. It's America's team. Like he would have and he would have been totally undeserved because he's not a good coach. He wouldn't have been a good coach. It would have just been, they had 3 stud receivers, all the things they used to have, a good offensive line, a good quarterback. So
here's a quiz for you. Who is the highest scoring team, actually?
Oh, I'm not going to look. Packers?
Number 1 by
Are they?
a touchdown. 410 points scored, 7 points better than the Chiefs so far this season.
I was going to say the Chiefs have had a couple stinkers lately.
Seahawks and Titans are right there too. It could be any of those.
Early,
They're all right there. They're all really close. Who has the highest point differential? Who has the highest point differential?
This is a good point too. I will do this. I do one of these threads every year where I post my most hilariously bad futures bet and let people get it off. Like we'll do it. When is Festivus? Maybe that should be a thing. When is
the day before Christmas or the couple days before?
I think it's the 23rd for 23rd. Festivus. So next Wednesday, I will post that and people can get that off their chest. The most hilariously bad ones. I mean, like the Cowboys win total. I got a bunch of CLV. It was just bad luck, but like there was a couple that weren't bad luck. It was just a bad bet. And bad luck ones are funny too.
So what do you think? Who has the highest point differential?
Differential.
Who's the Pythag winner this year?
I'm trying to think of somebody who's actually Rams.
It is the Chiefs. Rams are third in the NFC. Saints are number 1 in the NFC. Packers number 2. Rams number 3.
This would qualify if they were taking more than they took 11.25 on this, which is good. It saved me money. But yeah, the James MVP bets are in there.
The Jets, by the way, so Kansas City Chiefs are like all-time great. Would you agree? They're not like the number 1 team ever, but like in the top, in the discussion, and they're in the discussion. Top 40. All-time, great team, right? You agree with that?
Well, especially if you're just talking offense, man.
Yeah, no, but yes, you're on board with that.
Yes. I'm fine with that.
Their point differential is 122. You want to guess what the Jets' negative point differential is?
Like 1 in 90?
Minus 210.
That's a lot.
That is incredible. And they still have 3 games to go.
You know what the 07 Patriots point differential was?
Was it positive 210?
315
plus 315.
I think that's what Reddit. What? See, this Reddit post is 5 years old, but it's saying that's the most ever. That has to be the most ever. That's insane. They won a bunch of the games in the middle of the season, like 45-3, like a bunch of them. Yeah, that's the thing. They were kicking that. Well, and a big part of that too is the division. Like last year, the Chiefs was about 150. Like they outscored their opponent. And granted, it was a good defense too at times, but they outscored their opponents by twice as much as last year's Chiefs did. The Chiefs with the 50 touchdowns, they outscored their opponents by 245. It looks like 244. So even the 2018 ones, Jesus, 315. I gotta go to bed.
Okay.
Right. I at least got to drive home, have a whiskey, watch the second half of this game, get mad at Anthony Lynn, watch the Raiders win by 4, and have another whiskey and cry myself to sleep. What happened? I heard there's a flag. And I should run my college football. I was
responding to a text from one of our friends. It is a first down for the Chargers. Charge the Chargies. All right, man. Well. Oh, Xmas credits music, Brett. I love that idea.
Wow, I'll get somebody on that.
We typically play Christmas music behind our Week 16 pod. What are your thoughts on that? Is that
it's a lot
this year? You don't like it? I always edit it in after the fact. You're out.
I know.
You're out.
If it's light and it's real, Muzak or like just lightly. Although I did drive over to La Crosse to look at the Christmas lights. I forgot to tell that because Eric, he taught in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I forgot to mention that. I'd send him a picture of that. He's like, the rotary lights, yeah. He's like, are you still there? I'm like, no, this is last night, bud. But I traveled into Wisconsin.
That's cool.
Well, it's scary, man. That's where the Rona's bad. So yeah, we'll come up with something for Christmas. And I don't know what your Christmas Day plans are, but there's a Vikings game
versus the Saints.
I'm just going to be sitting at home. I might be out in the woods doing a scope. I don't know what Drew's day looks like.
The preview of the 2-7 matchup, probably, right?
Yeah. So there might be.
I can't remember any entertaining Saints Vikings game, so I don't really care about that one way or the other.
It should be like a shit kicking by the Chargers, or by the what do you want to call it? Shit kicking by the Saints, and then the Vikings win in the playoffs somehow. That's kind of how that goes. So all right, let's close it out.
One last comment to close the loop on HJ's soft California. It's 59 degrees here today. I busted out like the full-on fleece jacket. I was like, my God, it's cold. My God, it's cold. I'm going to need the fleece jacket today. So, yeah, his comment's not far off. Anyway, good night, guys.
It's 24 right now.
Hopefully Chargers will play soft the second half. I don't know what the hell this Raiders challenge is. I'm going to have to watch that. But best of luck, guys.
Machete.
Wood scope with the machete. 61 in Dallas. Nice. Good deal. Have a great night, guys.
You guys.